Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to another Mixed Media Mayhem. Today we are using a recipe that was chosen by MK. And so our recipe is glitter, stamping, and vellum. So I started out with a bunch of stamping on my white paper, almost making like my own background paper, but I thought it would be really fun to have some visual interest of a bunch of stamps that are birthday or celebratory type stamps because my layout is going to be about somebody's birthday. So I pulled out stamps from a whole bunch of different companies. I will try to list the ones that are available still down below. That circle one there that you saw that I just used the It's Your Day from, that is from Concord and Ninth. I've got some from Scrapbook.com. I've got some from Echo Park. That's a really old Shimelle one that I'm putting on there that says Reach for the Stars. I think that's even from her Starshine collection, which is super old, but the stamp still works. So you know what? Go ahead and use it. Sometimes those are like the best ones to use is, get your old stamps out and see what you have. This one from Echo Park I'm going to use the one that says The Best Day. This particular one is from Pattern Happy, and I'm using Have a Colorful Birthday for that one, and you're able to like change out the words, so you can say like have a colorful, or you can make it say you are colorful, or whatever, you make my life colorful, or something like that. This one says Best Wishes. That is, I think, either from Stampin' Up or Close to My Heart. And so just a whole bunch of different stamps. Many of them will be old, so there won't be links for those. This particular one from Scrapbook.com has a whole bunch of different birthday ones, but I definitely wanted something that just said Happy Birthday, plain old Happy Birthday in a font that was easy to read, just so that it would be very clear that it was her birthday. Now the idea of making your own kind of like area on your paper and to make it look natural, is to go off of the edges. What I did was I marked a triangle out on the right hand side. I just used an 18-inch ruler and went corner to corner and marked it out as like an X, or, well, I didn't actually go all the way to an X. I just went from one corner to what I thought was pretty close to the center. And I was only going to do this one triangle, but I end up doing the opposite side as well. And I speed it up quite a bit because I didn't think you needed to sit through it twice, and it would be kind of boring. The other idea is you start with your biggest stamps first. I probably should have started with this one that says The Best Day first, because it is quite large. And then you can fill in around it in some in the areas with much smaller stamps. And because I didn't want to go past that triangle that I drew, I'm using a piece of scrap paper there to kind of block off the area so I don't get any ink in the part that I want to leave white. The other idea is to use some non-text stamps. Now some of these do have some text on them, but they have like a heavy black border around it. And so those work well also, just to kind of give your eye a place to kind of rest, or so that it's not just trying to read all of the words. It's not just all text. You've got some things that are breaking up the text a bit by using these heavier black stamps. Now this set from Catherine Pooler that I'm using, it does have like a cake on it. It's got some hearts, and it's got some celebratory little things on it. So I'm going to use those as well. I did use an old Heidi Swapp stamp set for, I think, the arrow. So here's the birthday cake. That's from a Catherine Pooler set, and it has candles that go with it. So I'm going to stamp those as well. But I just thought it did really well to break things up so that it's not all text. So it also helps because, like I said, this is a birthday celebration, and I'm using some stamps that kind of are a nod to birthdays, like cakes. I mean, the cake could be a wedding as well, or any other kind of celebratory event, but with the candles on top, it definitely reads birthday. And I thought it was perfect because it is actually her 4th birthday, and there are 4 candles on that cake. So I thought that was just a really good nod to her 4th birthday. Now nobody else is really going to know that except me and maybe her family, but it meant something to me. So I thought that was kind of cool. Again, stamping off the edge just to kind of give it a little bit of, make it look like it was the paper was supposed to be that way. And adding hearts, little tiny hearts work really well, or little tiny stars would have worked really well, given it was a celebratory type of a day. And there are some little like streamer type things in the Catherine Pooler set that I did stamp as well. It looks kind of like a streamer kind of went off. Now I didn't worry about getting all the way to the center of the triangle, like the center of the paper, because I know my photos are going there, so I didn't worry about that too much. And here's where I decide, okay, I'm going to go ahead and do the opposite side as well. And I speed it up quite a bit, as you can tell, because I have to get all the stamps out again, and I didn't think you guys wanted to sit through watching it like at regular speed. So I went really fast on this part. While I'm stamping that out, I just want to remind you, this is a hop that we do every Friday. So there is a list of all of the people that are playing along down below. You can go and check out their channels. The first few weeks of the month, we have a recipe challenge. And then the final week, we are doing a scrap lift of somebody. So there will be inspiration. And we do post the inspiration in the Facebook group for Mixed Media Mayhem. If you are interested in playing along, go over and join that group if you're not already a part of it. And you will get the inspiration several weeks in advance so that you can play along on the final Friday of the month. And we would love to have you do that. You can also post in the group if you are lifting any of the stuff that we've done or using any of the recipes that we are working with. We'd love to have you post there as well. So go and check that out, and check out everyone else who is playing along. Now, because it's a recipe challenge, you're going to get all kinds of different things going on. Everybody's layout's going to look completely different because we don't have any other reference point that we are working from. So I think that's kind of cool. So I'm just erasing the lines because they are really faint pencil lines. And then I'm going to use this star stencil from Scrapping Reflections. If you follow Sandy, who is State Goddess on most social media, she owns Scrapping Reflections, and this is an awesome stencil. I'm using some Bow Bunny glitter paste, and I'm using it in, I think the white one is, or the clear one is called Snowdrop or some Snowflake, or I don't know. Maybe I could be making that up. And then anyway, the other one is called Rose Gold for sure. So, and I do want some of it to go over the words. The words are still going to be readable, but I think it looks really cool just to kind of have some of it over it. And I'm not really concerned with getting full coverage. I just kind of want it to look a little bit, not grungy, but a little bit distressed maybe. So I think that looks pretty cool. I have these 3 photos. This is one of the little girls that I take care of, the older sister, and I took her out for ice cream on her, well, we took her to lunch and ice cream on her birthday, not this year, but the year before. And so the look on her face when she saw this big ice cream that she ordered was priceless, and I apologize that you're not going to be able to see it because I have her face covered up. I wasn't sure how her parents felt about her being on social media when I did this layout, so I purposely have her face covered up. There is the vellum that I'm using. So I have now used my glitter in a glaze format, and I have also used some stamping, and now I'm using vellum. I am piecing this vellum together because I didn't have a really large piece of it readily available. I would have had to go next door to pull some more vellum. All of the vellum that I have in my craft room has like a tint to it, whether it's like blue or green or pink or whatever. But this was the one that matched the best. It's kind of just an off-white, and I like how it looks. I thought I would pull out some orange and see how that looked, like a kind of like a burnt sienna type of orange with those stars, but it didn't look great. So I went to my box of red ephemera, and I started pulling stuff out of there, and it looks much better. I do have rose gold on the background, but which you would think kind of clashes, but it works well with the wood that is in the photo, and then there is red in the seats and red in her dress. So that is why I chose red. And the color of ink that I started with is called Clay Mask, and that's like the orangier one, which matches the stars a little better, but it wasn't a perfect match. So I went to use one called Rouge, and those are both Catherine Pooler inks. So I'm using Rouge right now to to stamp out the word birth, because I'm going to use that piece that says happy day to make my title that says happy birthday. And I'm going to cut it apart there. And there was a little bit of residual piece on it from, piece was from a cut apart from the Pebbles collection. So just going ahead and I cut off the little edge where it wasn't a good clean cut. There was a little bit more paper showing than the red. So there's my title, Happy Birthday, and I like it because it's really bold. It's a little different than all of that text in the background, so it does stand out, and you definitely can tell that it's a birthday. And then I am adding birth foam to the word birth just to pop it up a bit, and I like the way that that looks. Now I'm using my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive to adhere everything down because I am on top of a lot of mixed media there, and I think it will hold quite a bit better. This is a stamp set from Elizabeth Craft Designs, and it is called Retro Labels, and I'm stamping it out in the same Rouge color to bring that color up to the upper left hand side of the photos. And that's where my little tiny bit of journaling is going to go. I don't feel like I need a lot of journaling. It's just basically saying what we did. Her birthday's in July, so I thought I would use that piece that says July on it, and that would work really well to just, you know, be a nod to the day. And I'm liking how that's looking, adding a little bit of glue behind it. And I'm trying to remember if I add a bunch more. I did decide I was going to pop the word July up, so again I cut up a little bit of foam, and the foam is just fun foam from Walmart, and so I thought I would go ahead and use that. I am going to trim off 1/8 of an inch all the way around my layout, and I am going to pop it up onto another piece of paper, which I am going to color with my Rouge ink. Now, I don't use a lot of cardstock. This is my way of getting around buying a lot of cardstock in colors that I may or may not ever use. And so I just use, if I'm going to use it to put an edge around a piece of paper like this, I just use my ink and it matches perfectly with everything else. My paper is not super warped just because there's not a lot of moisture in that glitter glaze or glitter paste. And so I'm able to just go ahead and stick it down with my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive. It does help because there is a little bit of warping, but not a lot. And then I have this butterfly that has a lot of red on it, so I thought I'd put that on there just to kind of soften things up and make it a little bit more girly. And I am going to go back through my bin and look for another butterfly, which I don't end up finding. So I end up pulling out these little ladybugs from one of the Paige Evans collections. And I think that is from Wonders. Yeah. Yep, they're from Paige Evans Wonders. And so I just put them onto white paper and fussy cut around them to bring them up to the left-hand corner. I thought since I've got something that's like alive and natural looking down in the bottom right-hand side, I needed something in the upper left-hand side. So it might seem kind of like random that they're on there, but it does give it a little bit more of an organic feel since there are so many straight lines with triangles and stars and rectangles and squares on this layout. Just softens it up just a tiny bit. And that is, I think, pretty much the last thing that I do. Let's double check that. I guess I do leave one down in this bottom corner. Yep, that's it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you have questions or comments, leave them down below. I will get back to you as quickly as I can. I really appreciate the time that you spent with me today, you guys. And I will be back again very soon with another layout. Still working through travel photos for 30 days, around the world in 30 days. So I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.